What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
John McTiernan's 1986 action masterpiece Predator was actually conceived around a joke. And it was a joke that involved the Rocky franchise. A journalist noted that the only opponent left for Rocky to fight was E.T. And that gave the screenwriter the idea to kind of have this film about an alien fighting this group of beefcake men.
I don't care who you are back in the world. You give up position one more time, I'll bleed you real quiet, leave you here.
Originally, the creature was actually played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, who had come to Mexico where they were filming in Puerto Vallarta from Brussels. This was his first film. And so it's actually him in some of the early shots in Predator, even though he's uncredited. And he was very despondent because he actually thought he was coming to star in his first Hollywood film and that he'd be able to showcase his martial arts skills. Unfortunately, he was in a suit that was far too big for him and he got very upset and had to leave the set. That's when they decided to reconceptualize Predator because they knew that this duck-billed lizard thing wasn't working, and they brought in Kevin Peter Hall, who is 7 feet 5 inches, to play the Predator. They also brought in the creature master effects supervisor Stan Winston, who redesigned the Predator entirely from scratch for $1.5 million, which was 2 to 3 times what the original budget was for the lizard-like duck thing. The design of the Predator with its ferocious mandible was actually suggested by filmmaker James Cameron, who was making Aliens in 1986. And so he was very much invested in this sort of like creature mythology, and he really wanted to see a creature made with a mandible. And that's why you get that incredibly ferocious, partially vaginal mouth on Predator.
You lose it here, you're in a world of hurt.
I think one of the reasons why I was so attracted to Predator from a young age was the eroticism in it. And the scene in particular that I'm thinking of is the climactic battle between Predator and Arnold Schwarzenegger. And this is a scene where you have Arnie coated in mud because he's trying to hide his heat signature from Predator. And the Predator, not knowing he's there, takes off his mask for the first time and reveals his vaginal orifice mandible. And all the while, Arnold Schwarzenegger is bracing himself in the mud, panting and sweaty, and it occurred to me that this is one of the most incredible stripteases in the history of cinema. And I think when I was young, I might have confused this for a sex scene.
Now, what do we gotta do?
As a fan of Predator, I sometimes incorporate it into my hobby of crafting. So here I have a photorealistic, kind of based on the art of Chuck Close embroidery of Predator. It's taken me about 5 years of working on and off, stitch by stitch, and I stopped most recently because once I got to the eyes, it just kind of looked, it got a little too real, and I'm really terrified to get to the mandible, to be perfectly honest.
What's your favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie? Tell us below and subscribe for more from Hollywood Suite.